Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will be discussing one more interview question that is asked in most of the companies, big MNCs companies. So in this video, it will be related to one question which we will be solving in the PySpark. If you are preparing for any interview related to data engineering, then I would definitely recommend you to practice as much questions as you can related to PySpark and SQL, which will help you in preparing for your interviews. So let me show you the questions that I've already created in my playlist, which I will be extending a lot more. So this playlist will be helping you a lot in preparing your interviews. You see, this is my playlist, that is my interview series playlist. So I have created these many questions which were asked basically in the interviews. So I will come up with more questions in this. So this will be a extensive playlist that I will be creating related to PySpark and data engineering interviews. If you want to go ahead and learn the basics of PySpark, then you can go to the Sparks Basics to Advanced, in which I've explained you what is an RDD, types of RDD, data frame data sets, the pivot, unpivot, how to use case statements, how to do a show, how to do a data frame, how to create a data frame, how to do a collect method. There's so many, you can see it, right? So you can go ahead and check all these videos if you are learning PySpark, or if you are new to PySpark, or even if you are just brushing up your knowledge, just go through it one by one. It will help you in preparing for your interviews. So let's get started with today's interview question. In today's interview question, I have a customer table and a orders table. So in the interview, they may ask you to write a PySpark question in which you need to find all the customers who never order anything. So there could be a table which is a customer table, a dimension customer table. There could be a table which is an orders table, in which all the details of the orders are present in the orders table. So what you need to do is you need to find the customers who are never ordered anything, right? So how you can solve this question? Let's start with it. So before we start, I have my cluster ready in my 12.2 and Scala 2.12, and I'm creating a data set. There are two data sets I need to create. One is my schema for my customers table, another is my orders table. So in the interview, you may be asked to create the data frame first and then solve the question, or they may also tell you that the data frame is already ready. You just go ahead and solve the question. So here I'm creating a data frame first for the customers table and one data frame for the orders table. And how you can create data frame, if you don't know how to create a data frame, I'll request you to go ahead and watch my previous video in which I've explained you completely how different ways you can go ahead and create a data frame, and how you can go ahead as well and assign the schema into it. Now, as my data frame is ready, let me go ahead and display it. So to display the data frame in Databricks, you can use a display command, which is a inbuilt of Databricks. You can also use a show command, but in the show command, what will happen? It will just show you the first 20 records by default. So it will not be also in a tabular format, just to go ahead and show you in a very tabular format, in a very optimized format. I'm just going ahead and using the display method. So this is my order table, and these are the two orders. So the customer ID 4 has order ID 1 and customer ID 2 has order ID 3. And I have these customers who have it in my customers table. So the customer ID 2 and 4 has ordered because I have it in my orders table. So let me do one thing. If I need the customer names who have ordered the order IDs, then I have to join these table to get my order IDs and the customer name, right? So how do you join it? To join two data frames, you use the join method that has been provided by PySpark. So that is df customer.join, and you join the order table on the basis of what key column you need to join. So I'm using the customer ID because customer ID is common in both the tables. Here it's customer ID is there, customer ID is there. So I'm joining it on the basis of my customer ID, and I'm doing a left join. what it will give me the output, it will give me all the records that are present in my left table, that is my customers table, and then it will join the data set from my right table. If the joining condition doesn't match, then it will give me the null values for those records. So let me display this particular thing and show it to you. So now my customers data is present, and if you will see the customer ID, all the customer IDs are present. This is my left table and this is my right table. So it is combining the customer ID 1. There is no record for customer ID 1. So it has given me null. There is a record for customer ID 2. So it has joined with the customer ID 2. There was no record with the customer ID 3 in my orders table. So it has given me here the null value. There was an order here for customer ID 4. So it has given me the order ID 1. So it has joined with the order ID 1, that is with the customer ID 4. There was no data for customer ID 5 in my customers table. The orders table. So it has given me null. So left join means if the data is not present in the right table, it will give me null, and it will go ahead and give me all the data that are present in my left table. So now you see I have joined these two tables, but what is my requirement? Requirement is to get the customers data who have never purchased any item. So for that, let me go ahead and filter out the records in which the data is not present in the orders table. So for that, I'm using a filter condition here. That is, this is my join. Okay, till this it is my join. Or you can also create a data frame, and then you can just write that data frame, and then on the top of that data frame you can do a filter operation. In this filter operation, what I'm doing is I'm checking whether my customer ID is null. If my customer ID is null, then I will be selecting those records. Customer ID is null means there is no order ID, right? So there was no data. So if the customer ID is null, then the order ID is also null, and I'm just filtering out those records. So it means those customers have never purchased any order. So how will you check whether the customer ID is null? So in SQL, you can use the null function. Here also you can use an is null function. So this is null function is available in PySpark. So you can use this is null function. So let me go ahead and display this particular data frame. I'm not storing this data frame in another data frame. I'm just going ahead and displaying it in the screen. So these many customer IDs are not present in my orders table. Okay, so these are my customers' name who have never purchased any order. So what I need, my requirement is not to get these columns. I just need the customer name column. How will you just get the customer's name column? You can just go ahead and select the customer name from this data frame. So let me do one thing. Instead of the display method, what I will do is I'll just go ahead and create a data frame with df is null, and I will store that in this particular data frame to make things easier. Okay, so now this is my df is null. Now it is storing the data, and I will go ahead and select the data from this is null. What I will be selecting? I will be selecting my customer name. So I'll just use the column operator and customer name. It may give me an error. Why? I will tell you. So let me just first execute this using the display method. See, it has given me an error, name column is not defined. Why? Because you have to define the column. You have to import the column method. How you can do it? You can do it using PySpark.sql.functions import call. Okay, now I am running this PySpark.sql.functions import call, but before that I need to write from. Okay, so now it has given me all the customer names who have never ordered any order from the orders table. Okay, so if you want, instead of storing it in a data frame, you can just use the above command, above query itself, and then you can select it. So I'm doing it using this. So this is my above query. I'm not creating any data frame, and then I'm just selecting the column that I want. There's another way of selecting column using the data frame name and the customer name. If you want to know more about like how to select the columns in different ways, you can watch my previous video. I've explained there also how to do it. So this was one of the question that is asked most of the time in most of the interviews, right? So go ahead and practice it. It's a very simple question, how to solve it, but you need to know few things like how to do a filter operation, how to do a join operation, how to get the data which is not null value or which is a null value, and how to basically select the data set, right? So I hope you have enjoyed this video and you have learned how to solve this question. If you like this video, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. So I'll come up with the next video.
Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.